Bring the left foot in between the hands and drop the right foot at an angle. Bringing the hands to the knees and then swooping the right arm up behind you and the left arm extends in front of you, reaching out into your warrior pose. Engaging in the core, really zipping in, letting the hip points cinch together, then dropping the hands back to the thigh and then the ground, bringing the left leg back, coming back in your down dog, then stepping the right foot in between the hands and dropping the back foot at an angle, bringing the hands to the thigh and then swooping the left arm overhead, reaching out, spreading the mat apart with your feet, keeping the core engaged strong, and revolving the chest towards the left side, dropping the hands to the knee and then bringing them to the ground, revolving the left foot to center and then bringing the right foot back. Bending in the knees, shaking the head of any tension. Coming to prepare for our side plank, we're going to start on our left side. So sit on your left hip and stretch your legs out long. Bring your left hand underneath you, underneath your shoulder. And find a comfortable position for your feet, bringing your right hand to your hip. Pressing the hips up towards the sky, cinching the hip points together and stretching the arm out long. You can find another spot for your feet by bending the knee or placing them in front of each other or stacking them. Bringing the hand down to the ground and dropping the knees and pressing the seat back for a child's pose. Just to rest for a moment as we prepare for the next side. Dropping the right hip to the ground, extending the legs long, bringing the hand underneath the shoulder, pressing the hips up towards the sky and bringing the left hand onto the hip, releasing the hand up towards the sky, stretching long, engaging the core, keeping a strong breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. And dropping the hand down to the ground, dropping the knees, and coming back into our child's pose. Taking nice deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Into our down dogs, and then stepping forward towards the top of our mat. Bending in the knees and reaching the arms out in front of you, engaging the core and sitting back for your chair pose, spreading the feet apart from each other, breathing through the nose and exhaling through the nose and keeping the core engaged. Dropping the hands back to the floor and raising the seat towards the sky, come into your supported child's pose, grabbing it opposite elbows, swaying the weight back and forth. Bend the knees again, sit back in your chair, reach the arms out in front of you, engaging the core, and dropping the hands back down for a forward fold. Coming up slightly, and then dropping back down, and then rising up. We're going to come into our eagle pose now. Stack your right elbow over top of your left and wrap the arms. This is the view from the side. Shifting the weight into your right leg. Start to bend in that right knee and lift the left knee over top of your right leg and wrap the foot around the back. Engaging the core and hinging at the hips to come in deeper into your eagle pose. Breathing strong through the nose and exhaling through the nose. And then coming back up to standing. Repeat on the opposite side, so the left elbow stacks over top of the right elbow and the hands wrap. Shifting the weight into the left leg. Bending in the knee slightly, coming onto the tippy toes, and then wrapping that right leg over top of the left leg. Hinging at the hips slightly, keeping the core engaged. Breathing. remembering to breathe and keeping the core engaged. Then coming back up to standing. Bringing the left leg behind you to balance. Engage the core and raise the left leg. Keeping straight and strong and lifting a couple times. Keeping the core engaged and dropping the knee back to the ground. Bring the right leg behind you. Engaging the core and raising the right leg, pulsating. Keeping strong, zipping the hip points together, and then dropping the knee back to the ground. And finally, resting in our constructive rest pose, keeping the knees bent, the hands on the belly, inhaling through the nose and exhaling even deep, longer breaths. Thank you for joining us today. Namaste.